ज्ञानविरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयः चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नामश्रेष्ठं मनुमपि शिशुपुत्रमत्र स्वरूपं रूपं तस्याकृतिमुरुपुरीं मातुरीं गोष्ठवाटिं राधाकुण्डं गिरिवरमहो राधिका माधवाशा प्राप्तो यस्य प्रकृतकृपया श्रीगुरुं तं नतोऽस्मि। नमस्ते गुरुदेवाय सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायिने सर्वमङ्गलरूपाय सर्वानन्दविधायिने यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं दैपायनो विरहकातरार्तिहावा पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरो विनेतु तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मानतोऽस्मि। हे श्रीगुरुज्ञानदीनबन्धो स्वानन्ददाता करुणैकसिन्धो वृन्दावनासीनहितावतार प्रसीद राधा प्रणयप्रचार प्रायस्वो जगन्नाथ पूर्वसंसारवह्निना दग्धं मां कालदष्टं च त्वामहं शरणं गतः। First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmadya Guru Padma, Vitila President Guru Shri Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Narayana Maharaj, Rendi Swami Shri Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Pandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddha Swamiji, and all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas who are gathered here to accept my humble obeisance. So here, we are discussing verse number 23 from chapter 5 of Adi Leela. In Mathura, in Dwarka, Nija Rupa, personal body, Prakashya, manifesting, Nana Rupe, in various ways, Vilase, enjoys pastimes, Chatu Viha Haya, expanding into four wonderful forms. Translation. Lord Krishna manifests his own form in Mathura and Dwarka. He enjoys pastimes in various ways by expanding into quadruple forms. Vasudeva Sankarshana Pradyumna Niruddha Sarva Chaturviham Turiya Vishuddha Vasudeva Sankarshana Pradyumna Niruddha Sarva Chaturviham Turiya Vishuddha. In Mathura and Dwarka, divisions of Krishna Lord, Shri Krishna performs various pastimes in many ways by manifesting the original quadruple expansion. Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. The quadruple expansion of Dwarka, the primary quadruple, is the source of all other quadruple expansions and is purely transcendental. Vasudeva, the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, he is the first expansion of the Dwarka quadruple and is the Prakash of Brajanandan Sri Krishna. Brajanandan has a two-handed form, dresses like a cowherd boy, and has the mood of a cowherd boy. Vasudeva sometimes has a two-handed and other times a four-handed form, and other times a four-handed form. He dresses like a Kshatriya warrior and has the mood of a Kshatriya. Sankarshan, the form in which Shri Balram performs his pastimes in Dwarka and Mathura is known as Sankarshan. Being attracted from the womb of Devaki and subsequently placed in the womb of Rohini. He is known as Sankarsana. He is the second expansion of the Dwarka quadruple. Shri Balram, who in his original form helps Swayamrup Sri Krishna in his pastimes, the same Shri Balram in the form of Sankarsana serves Vasudev in his pastimes in Dwarka and Mathura. Just as Vasudev is known as Sri Krishna, similarly Sankarsana is also known as Balaram. There is no difference between Balaram, the performance of pastimes in Braja, and Sankarsana, the performance of pastimes in Dwarka and Mathura. With respect to the complexion and bodily features, both are fair complexion and have a two-handed form. The only difference is in their moods in Braja. In Braja, his mood is that of a Gopal, and in Dwarka and Mathura, his mood is that of a Kshatriya. In the unmanifested pastimes, there is an eternal presence of three different forms of Sri Krishna and Sri Balaram in three abodes: Gokul, Dwarka, and Mathura. However, in the manifested pastimes, while performing pastimes in one abode, their forms in the other abodes remain unmanifested. Pradyumna, he is the son of Sri Krishna from the womb of Rukmini Devi. It is Sri Krishna only who, in order to enjoy Vatsalya as Ashraya, appears as a son with the name Pradyumna and performs the eternal Dwarka pastime with the mood of being a son. Therefore, Sri Pradyumna is the special manifestation of Sri Krishna. He is the third expansion of the Dwarka quadruple. Aniruddha, he is the grandson of Sri Krishna. He is the son of Sri Pradyumna from the womb of Rukmavati, the daughter of Rukmini. He, like Pradyumna, is but a special manifestation of Sri Krishna and is the fourth expansion of the Dwarka quadruple. The pastime in a two-handed form in Gokul, Mathura, Dwarka. Verse 25. Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna Niruddha Sarva Chaturvihangshi Turiya Vishuddha. Vasudeva, Lord Vasudeva. Sankarsana, Lord Sankarsana. Pradyumna, Lord Pradyumna. Aniruddha and Lord Aniruddha. Sarva Chaturviha, of all the quadruple expansions. Amshi, soul. Turiya, transcendental. Vishuddha, pure. Vasudeva Sankarsana are the primary quadruple forms from whom all the quadruple forms are manifested. They are all purely transcendental. Text 25. Eitina loke Krishna these Tina three loke in the location. Krishna, Lord Krishna, Kevala only Leelamaya consisting of pastime. Nija Ganalaya with his personal associates. Kele, he plays Ananta Samaya, unlimited time. Only in these three places, Dwarka, Mathura and Gokul, does the all-sporting Lord Krishna perform his endless pastimes with his personal associates. In these three places, Sri Krishna, along with his eternal associates, since time immemorial, has been absorbed in performing pastimes. That he does not do any work related to the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world. Tinaloki in Gokul, Mathura, and Dwarka. The sovereignty in the form of four-handed Narayan in Paravyoma Vaikuntha. That is explained in the verse number 26. परव्योम मध्ये करी स्वरूप प्रकाश नारायण रूपे करेण विलास Paravyoma Madhye, within the spiritual sky, Kari making Swarupa Prakash, manifesting his identity. Narayana Rupe, the form of Lord Narayan, Karena performs Vividha Vilas, variety of pastimes. In the context of the spiritual sky, the Lord manifests his identity, Narayan, and performs pastimes in various ways. Manifests himself as Narayan in the Paravyoma and performs various pastimes. Shri Krishna has a two-handed form, Aishwarya Vilas, Narayan has a four-handed form. Swarupa Vigraha Krishner Kevala Dvibhuja Narayana Rupe Sai Tanucha Turbuja Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Maheshwarya Maya Shri Lila Shakti Jara Jara Swarupa Vigraha, personal form, Krishna of Lord Krishna only, two hands, Narayan, the form of Narayan, say that Tanu body, Chatu Bhuja, four-handed, Shankha Chakra, conch shell and disc, Gada, club, Padma, lotus flower, Maha, very great, Aishwarya Maya, full of opulence, Shri, named Shri, Bhu, named Bhu, Neela, named Neela, Shakti, energy, Jandra, whose Charana Sevaya, serve the lotus feet. Krishna's own form has only two hands, but in the form of Lord Narayan, he has four hands. Narayan holds a conch shell, this flower. The Shri, Bhu, and Madhva sects of Vaishnavism, there are extensive descriptions of Shri, Bhu, and Neela energies. In Bengal, the Neela energy is sometimes called the Leela energy. These three energies are employed in the service of four-handed Narayan in Vaikuntha. Relating how three of the Alvas, namely Bhut Yogi, Sar Yogi, and Bhrant Yogi saw Narayan in person when they took shelter at the house of a Brahmana in the village of Gehali. The Prabannamrita of Sri Sampradaya describes Narayan as follows. Tarkshadirudam Tadiyam Buddha Lakshmidharam Vakshati Pankajaksham Mastadveshobhidashankachakram Vishnam Dadrushur Bhagavantamadhyam Ajanubahum Kamaniyatram Parshadveshobhidabhuvinilam Pitambaram Bhushanabhushitangam Chaturbhujam Chandanarushitangam. They saw the lotus-eyed Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, mounted on Garuda and holding Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, to his chest. He resembled a bluish rain cloud with flashing lightning, and in two of his four hands he held a conch shell and disc. His arms stretched down to his knees, and all his beautiful limbs were smeared with sandalwood and decorated with glittering ornaments. He wore yellow clothes, and by either side stood his energies, Bhumi and Nila. There is the following reference to the Shri, Bhu and Nila energies in the Sitopanishad. Mahalakshmir Deves Mahalakshmir Deveshasya Vinna Vinna Rupa Chetana Chetanatmika Sa Devi Trivida Bhavati Shakti Atmana Ichha Shakti Kriya Shakti Saksha Shakti Ichha Shakti Trivida Bhavati Chirur Nilatmika. Mahalakshmi, the supreme energy of the Lord, is experienced in different ways. She is divided into material and spiritual potencies, and in both features, she acts as the living energy, creative energy, and the internal energy. The living energy is again divided into three, namely Shri, Bhu, and Nila. Quoting from the revealed scriptures in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, Madhvacharya has stated that quoting from the revealed scriptures in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Madhvacharya has stated that Mother Material Nature, which is conceived of as illusory energy, Durga, has three divisions, namely Shri, Bhu, and Nila. She is the illusory energy for those who are weak in spiritual strength, because such energies are created energies of Lord Vishnu. Although each energy has no direct relationship with the unlimited, they are subordinate to the Lord because the Lord is the master of all energy. In his Bhagavad Sandarbha, the Jiva Goswami Prabhu states, the Padma Puran refers to the eternally auspicious abode of Godhead, which is full in all opulences, including the energies Shri, Bhu, and Nila. The Mahasamhita, which discusses the transcendental name and form of Godhead, also mentions Durga as the potency of the Supersoul in relationship with the living entities. The internal potency acts in relation with his personal affairs, and the material potency manifests the three modes. Quoting elsewhere from the revealed scriptures, he states that Shri is the energy of Godhead that maintains the cosmic manifestation. Bhu is the energy that creates the cosmic manifestation, and Nila, Durga, is energy that destroys the creation. All the energies act in relation with the living beings, thus they are together called Jiva Maya. So, this is very nice explanation of Shri Shakti, Bhu Shakti, and Nila Shakti. Because also, you'll see that they say Tirupati. Tirupati means Tripati. The name someone was telling me that it was Tripati. Three means Sri, Bhu, and Nila. He's the Lord of three energies, Sri Shakti, Bhu Shakti, Nila Shakti. That's why it's called Tripati, Lord of three. So, Sarupa Vigreha Krishner Kevala Vibhuja Narayana Rupe Sei Tanu Chaturbhuja Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Maha Aishwarya Maya Shri Bhu Nila Shakti Dandra Charana Sevaya. Shri Krishna's original form is always two-handed. In Paravyoma, he manifests Narayana, the four-handed form, and is served by Shri Nila. The detailed description of the three potencies in the book of Vaishnava Sampradaya. Shri Bhu Nila. In Bengal, Nila potency is called Lila potency by some. All three potencies are present in perfect Sara Yogi and Bhrata Yogi took shelter in the house of Brahman. Narayan gave them his darshan in person. They, in verses of Prapannamrut, described his appearance. Sakshairudam Triyam Udavat Lakshmidharam Bangladaksham Astadveshorita Shankachakram Vishnu Bhadrashura Bhagavan Tamadhyam Ajanubahum Kamaniya Gatram Parshadveshorabhuminilam Pitambaram Bhushanabhushitangam Chaturbhujam Chandanabhushitangam. Seated on the back of Garuda, the complexion of the original Purusha, the four-handed Bhagavan Vishnu, resembles the color of dark blue rain clouds with flashing lightning and has a delicate body. He is lotus-eyed, his arms stretched down to the knees, and his two hands are adorned with the conch shell and disc. He wears a yellow garment and his limbs, smeared with sandalwood, are decorated with various ornaments. Lakshmi Shri resides on his chest, and Bhu and Nila are situated on either side. Sitopanishad. Mahalakshmir Deveshasya Vinna Vinna Rupa Chetana Chetanatmika Sa Devi Trividha Bhavati Shakti Atmana Ichha Shakti Kriya Shakti Sakshat Shakti Ichha Shakti Trividha Bhavati Shri Bhu Lila Dulka. Parmeshwar's own potency Mahalakshmi is simultaneously experienced differently. She is divided into spiritual and material potencies, and in both features, she acts as the willing energy, creative energy, and the internal energy. The willing energy is further divided into Shri Bhu and Lila. Shri Madhvacharya's commentary on verse 4-6 of Gita. Madhadestu Mataya Shri Bhumileti Kalpita Vimohika Durgaksha Savir Vishnu Rupa Vishnu Jatavat Rathate Atma Chiddavad Murta Chetasa. The mother of Mahatattva, etc., who has been ascertained as Shri Bhu and Nila, potency is also known as Durga, who causes bewilderment. Further to the foolish being weak in Chit Bala, spiritual strength, the unborn Shri Vishnu appears as taking birth. In Vyasa Yoga 740, Shri Budrigetiya Bhinna Mahamaya tu Vaishnavi Satyandatma Sanati Satyashraya Prabhu Ananta Brahma Rudrade Tyat Shakti Kalapihi Isham Durajaya Isham Vina Vishnu Mama Vishnavi, the portion of Vishnu, from her three expansions, named Bhu and Durga. Maha is, in fact, under the shelter of Vishnu. Innumerable Brahma, Rudra, and others do not possess potency equal to the plenary portion of her potency. Without the mercy of Vishnu, it is very difficult for even Brahma and Rudra to surpass that Maya. The commentary of Sri Madhva on Gita verse. Mahad Brahma Prakriti Sa Shri Bhu Durgeti Bhinna Uma Saraswatyadrastu Tadam Sayuta Anya Jiva. Mahat Brahma is also known as Prakriti, material nature. The same Prakriti manifests in three different forms, namely Shri, Bhu, and Durga. Saraswati, Uma, and others are just the jivas invested with a portion of the Shakti. Karshayana Shruti. Shri Bhu Durga Mahati Maya. Salokasuti Jagato Bandika Cha. Uma Vagadya Anya Jiva. Sadam Shas Sadatmana Sarveveshu Gita. Mahamaya, in the form of Shri Bhu and Durga, gives birth to manifest universes and is the cause of creating bondage with the material world. Uma, Saraswati, and others are the jivas invested with her portion. It is because of Mahamaya that their glories are sung in the scripture. Verses 82 and verses 80 and 22. Bhagavad Sandarbha, authored by Srila Jiva Goswami, state that form of Ishvara, which resides in the supreme abode, is eternal, auspicious, and is present along with potencies, namely Shri, Bhu, and Nila. In Mahasamhita, the name and swarup of three potencies have been described. For instance, Shri Bhagavan's number one Jiva Maya is different from these three forms, Shri, Bhu, and Durga. And number two, Atma Maya, internal potency, is his desire. And number three, Guna Maya is material. His potency Shri is the one that maintains the world. Bhu is his creation potency. And Durga is his potency of destruction. These three potencies act in relation to the jivas, and thus they are together called Jiva Maya. According to the conversation between Satyabhama and Shri Krishna found in Padma Puran, I only manifest in three forms and exist along with three modes. After this statement, it is mentioned, then all the demigods, after hearing and being influenced by her statement, paid obeisances to Gauri, Durga, Lakshmi, Shri, and Prithvi, Bhu with devotion. Shri Krishna is causelessly merciful toward the jivas, even on being absorbed in his pastimes. यद्यपि केवल तांद्र क्रीडा मात्र धर्म तथापि जीवेर कृपाय करे कर्म. Yadyapi, although Kevala only, Tandra, his, Krida Matra, pastime only, Dharma, characteristic function. Tathapi still, Jivere to the fallen souls, Krupaya, by the causeless mercy, Kare does, Eka one, Karma, activity. Although his pastimes are his only characteristic, Gopal Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
यद्यपि केवल तांद्र क्रीड़ा मात्र धर्म तथा जीवेरे कृपा करे कर्म. यद्यपि although kevala only tandra his matra pastime only dharma characteristic function तथापि still jivere to the fallen soul. Krupaya by the causeless mercy kare does एक one karma activity. Although his pastimes are his only characteristic function, by his causeless mercy performs one activity for the fallen souls. यद्यपि केवल तार क्रीड़ा मात्र धर्म तथापि जीवेरे कृपाय करे कर्म. Even though performing pastimes is his only dharma, out of his causeless mercy for the jivas, Sri Krishna performs one pastime for the jivas, that is their deliverance. Deliverance of the jivas through four types of liberation or bringing them in Vaikuntha. Salokya, Samipya, Sarshti, Sarupya, Pradar, Sari Mukti Diya Kare, Jivera Nistar. Sari Mukti Diya Kare, Jivera Nistar. Salokya, the liberation called Salokya. Samipya, the liberation called Samipya. Sarshti, the liberation called Sarshti. Sarupya, the liberation called Sarupya. Prakar, varieties, Chari, four. Mukti, liberation. Diya, giving. Kare, does. Jivera, of the fallen soul. Nistar, deliverance. It delivers the fallen living entities by offering them the four kinds of liberation, Salokya, Samikya, Sashti, and Sarupya. There are two kinds of liberated souls. Those who are liberated by the favor of the Lord and those who are liberated by their own effort. One who gets liberation by his own effort is called an impersonalist and he emerges into the glaring effulgence of the Lord. He emerges into the glaring effulgence of the Lord, the Brahma Jyoti. But devotees of the Lord who qualify themselves for liberation by devotional service are offered four kinds of liberation, namely Salokya, status equal to that of the Lord, Samipya, association with the Lord, Sashti, opulence equal to that of the Lord, and Sarupya, features like those of the Lord. Salukya, Samipya, Sashti, Sarupya Prakara, Sari Mukti Diya Kare, Jivera Nistar. Shri Krishna delivers the fallen jivas by offering them these four types of Salukya, Samipya, Sarshti, and Sarupya. The residing place of those attaining Brahma Sahajya, liberation is outside Vaikuntha. Brahma Sahajya Muktera Taha Nahi Gati Kunta Bhairya Tasa Bharastiti. Brahma Sahajya of merging into the Supreme Brahma, Muktera of the liberation, Taha there in Vaikuntha, Nahi not Gati entrance. Vaikuntha Bahire, outside the Vaikuntha planet, higher, there is Tasavara Sthiti, the residence of all of them. Those who attain Brahma Sahajya, liberation, cannot gain entrance into Vaikuntha. Their residence is outside the Vaikuntha planets. There is no place in Vaikuntha for those who attain Brahma Sahitya liberation. Their residence is outside Vaikuntha. The transcendental Brahma Loka is situated outside the Paravyoma. वैकुंठ बाहेरे एक ज्योतिर्मय मंडल कृष्णेर अंगेर प्रभा परमौज्वल वैकुंठ बाहेरे outside the Vaikuntha local एक one ज्योतिर्मय मंडल the atmosphere of the glowing effulgence Krishnera of Lord Krishna Angera of the body Prabha rays Parama supremely Ujjvala bright. Outside the Vaikuntha planets is the atmosphere of the glowing effulgence, which consists of the supremely bright rays of the body of Lord Krishna. Siddhaloka namatara prakritira para jit swarupa tahanai shakti vikara. Siddhaloka, the region of the Siddhas, Nama named, Tara of the effulgent atmosphere. Prakritira para, beyond this material nature. Chit Swarupa, full of knowledge. Taha, there. Nahi, there is not. Chit Shakti Vikar, change of the spiritual energy. That region is called Siddha Loka and it is beyond the material nature. Its essence is spiritual, but it does not have spiritual variety. Siddha Loka Nama Tara Prakritir Para Chit Swarupa Taha Nahi Chit Shakti Vikar सूर्यमंडल जेना बाहिरे निर्विशेष भीतरे सूर्य रथ आदि सविशेष This is an analogy for Brahmadana. सूर्यमंडले जेना बाहिरे निर्विशेष भीतरे सूर्य रथ आदि सविशेष सूर्यमंडल जेना बाहिरे निर्विशेष भीतरे सूर्य रथ आदि सविशेष सूर्यमंडल globe jena like bahire externally nirvishesha without varieties bhitare within surya of the sun god ratha adi appearances like chariots and other things savishesha full of varieties it is like the homogeneous effulgence around the sun. But inside the sun are the chariots, horses, and other appearances of the sun god. Outside of Vaikuntha, the abode of Krishna, which is called Parabrahma, is the glaring effulgence of Krishna's bodily rays. This is called Brahma Jyoti. The transcendental region of the effulgence is called Siddhaloka or Brahma Loka. When impersonalists achieve liberation, they merge into that Brahmalok effulgence. This transcendental region is undoubtedly spiritual, but it contains no manifestations of spiritual activities or variegatedness. It is compared to the glow of the sun. Within the sun's glow is the sphere of the sun, where one can experience all sorts of varieties. Vaikuntha should be understood to mean the abode of Sri Krishna and Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Outside the Paravyoma, there exists a region of glaring effulgence. This effulgence emanates from Sri Krishna's body. This region is known as Siddha Loka or Brahma Loka. This alone is the place for those attaining Brahma Sahitya liberation. This abode is transcendental, but there is no activity of Chit Shakti. That is, it lacks variegatedness. Just as the sphere of the sun externally is just effulgence without any variegatedness, but has many varieties inside, like the chariot of the sun. Similarly, the Vaikuntha planets, which exist inside the effulgence, are full of attributes and variegatedness. The effulgence on the outside of the sun sphere is like Brahmaloka. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7 canto, 1st chapter, 29 verse. कामाद्वेषाद् भयात् स्नेहात् यथा भक्तेश्वरे मना आवेशं तत् अहं जित्वा बहवस्ताद् गतिं गता. Kamat, influenced by lusty desire, dveshat, by envy, bhayat, by fear, snehat, or by affection, yatha, as, bhaktya, by devotion, ishvare, in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, manaha, the mind, avesha, fully absorbing, tat, that, agam, sinful activity, hitva, giving up, bhava, many, tat, that, gatim, destination, gataha, achieved. As through devotion to the Lord one can attain his abode, many have attained that goal by abandoning their sinful activities and absorbing their mind in the Lord through lust, fear, or affection. Through lust, envy, fear, or affection. As the powerful sun, by its glowing rays, can purify all kinds of impurities, so the all spiritual personality of Godhead can purify all material qualities in a person he attracts. Even if one is attracted by Godhead in the mode of material lust, such attraction is converted into spiritual love of Godhead by His grace. Similarly, if one is related to the Lord in fear and animosity, he also becomes purified by the spiritual attraction of the Lord. Although God is great and the living entity is small, they are spiritual individuals, and therefore, as soon as there is a reciprocal exchange by the living entity's free will, at once the great spiritual being attracts the small living entity, thus freeing him from all material bondage. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 1st chapter, 30th verse. Actually, many persons have attained liberation simply by thinking of Krishna with great attention, giving up sinful activities. This great attention may be due to lusty desires, inimical feelings, fear, affection, or devotional service. I shall now explain how one receives Krishna's mercy simply by concentrating one's mind upon him. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10 canto, 33 chapter, 39 verse. Vikritam Prajavedam च Vishnu Shraddhanvito Anushrunaya Rathavarnayetya Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhyakamam Rudrogamashopahinoti Achirena Dhira. If a bona fide listener hears of Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, which seem to be lusty affairs, the lusty desires in his heart, which constitute the heart disease of the conditioned soul, will be vanquished, and he will become a most exalted devotee of the Lord. If one who hears of the gopis' lusty behavior with Krishna becomes free from lusty desires, certainly the gopis who approach Krishna became free from all such desires. Similarly, Shishupal and others who were very much envious of Krishna and who constantly thought of Krishna became free from envy. Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda were fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness because of affection. When the mind is somehow or other fully absorbed in Krishna, the material part is very soon vanquished, and the spiritual part, attraction to Krishna, becomes manifest. This indirectly confirms that if one thinks of Krishna enviously, simply because of thinking of Krishna, he becomes free from all sinful reactions and thus becomes a pure devotee. Examples of these are given in the following verse. गोप्या कामात् भयात् कंसो देशाच्चैद्यादयो नृपा संबंधात् वृष्णया स्नेहात् भक्त्या वयम विभो. My dear King Yudhishthir, the gopis by their lusty desires, Kamsa by his fear, Shishupal and other kings by envy, the Yadus by their familiar relationship with Krishna, you Pandavas by your great affection for Krishna, and we, the general devotees, by our devotional service, have obtained the mercy of Krishna. Different persons achieve different types of mukti, Saidya, Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, and Sashti, according to their own intense desire, which is called bhav. Thus, it is described here that the gopis, by their lusty desires, which were based on their intense love for Krishna, became the most beloved devotees of the Lord. Although the gopis at Vrindavan expressed their lusty desires in relationship with the paramour, Parakya Rasa, they actually had no lusty desires. This is significant of spiritual advancement. Their desires appeared lusty, but actually they were not lusty desires of the material world. Chaitanya Caritamrta compares the desires of the spiritual and material world to gold and iron. Both gold and iron are metal, but there is a vast difference in their value. The lusty desires of the gopis for Krishna are compared to gold, and material lusty desires are compared to iron. Kamsa and other enemies of Krishna merged into the existence of Brahma. But why should Krishna's friends and devotees have the same position? Krishna's devotees attain the association of the Lord as his constant companions, either in Vrindavan or in Vaikuntha planets. Similarly, although Narad Muni wanders in the three worlds, he has exalted devotion for Narayan, Aishwarja Man. The Vrishnis and Yadus, as the father and mother of Krishna and Vrindavan, all have familial relationships with Krishna. Krishna's foster father and mother in Vrindavan, however, are more exalted than Vasudeva and Devaki. So here, quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, Kamadveshat Vaya Snehat Yatha Bhakteshware Mana Avesham Tadagam Hitva Bhavastadgatim Gata. As through devotion unto Sri Bhagavan, one can attain his abode. Many by abandoning sinful activities and by absorbing their minds in him, lusty desires, enmity, fear, and affection, have attained their destination. The following verse is found in some editions of Srimad Bhagavatam 7.131. गोप्या कामात् भयात् कंसो देशात् चैद्यात् दयो नृपा संबंधात् वृष्णया स्नेहात् यूयं भक्त्या वयं विभो. Narad said to Yudhishthir, gopis through kama, pure love, Kamsa and others through fear, kings like Shishupal, Dantavakra through enmity, the Yadus through their affectionate family relationship, all of you, Pandavas, through affection, and we through bhakti have absorbed our friends, our minds in Krishna. Anubhash. How did Shishupal, even on being inimical to Sri Krishna, became eligible for Sahyajya liberation? In answer to this question of Dharmadaz Yudhishthir, Narad said, Yatha विहित्य भक्त्या जीवनेन ईश्वरे मनः आवेश्य तद्गतिं गच्छन्ति तथा कामात् यथा गोप्या द्वेषाद् यथा दन्तवक्र शिशुपालदत्तया भयाद् यथा कंसाद्यः स्नेहात् यथा पाण्डव एतादृशा बहवा तदघं कामादिनिमित्तं पापं हित्वा तद्गतिं मोक्ष प्रकारभेद गतः प्राप्तः. Many people attain liberation of different types by abandoning sinful activities, absorbing their mind in kama like the gopis, enmity like Dantavakra and Shishupal, fear like Kamsa, and affection like you Pandavas. Just as one attains liberation by absorbing one's mind with devotion. Please refer to the various commentaries under the Tathya section of Gaudiya Bhashya verses 7.1, 22-46 and 7.3, 30, 32 and 34 of Srimad Bhagavatam, relating to the conversation between sage Narad and Maharaj Vishnu. Yadarinam priyanam cha प्राप्यमेकमिवोदितं तद्ब्रह्म कृष्णयोरैक्यात् किरणा किरणार्कोपमा जुषा जुषा. Yet that Arinam of the enemies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Priyanam of the devotees who are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Cha and Prapyam destination, Ekam one only, Eva thus, Uditam said, Tat that Brahma of impersonal Brahman, Krishna Yo and of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Aikyat, due to the oneness, Kirana, the sunshine, Arka and the sun, Upama, the comparison, Jishoho, which is understood by. There it has been stated that the Lord's enemies and devotees attain the same destination. This refers to the ultimate oneness of Brahma and Lord Krishna. This may be understood by the example of the sun and the sunshine, in which Brahman is like the sunshine and Krishna himself is like the sun. This verse is from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Srila Rupa Goswami, who further discusses the same topic in his Laghu Bhagavatamrutam, Purva 5.41. There he refers to the Vishnu Puran 4.15.1, where Maitreya Muni asked Parashar in regard to Jay and Vijay, how it was that Hiranyakashipu next became Ravan and enjoyed more material happiness than the demigods, but did not attain salvation. Although when he became Shishupal, quarreled with Krishna and was killed, he attained salvation and merged into the body of Lord Krishna. Parashar replied that Hiranyakashipu failed to recognize Lord Nrsimhadev as Lord Vishnu. He thought that Nrsimhadev was some moving entity, was some living entity who had acquired such opulence by various pious activities. Being overcome by the mode of passion, he considered Lord Nrsimhadev an ordinary living entity, not understanding his form. Nevertheless, because Hiranyakashipu was killed by the hands of Lord Nrsimhadev, in his next life he became Ravan and had a proprietorship of unlimited opulence. As Ravan, with unlimited material enjoyment, he could not accept Lord Ram as the personality of Godhead. Therefore, even though he was killed by Ram, he did not attain Sahijya or oneness with the body of the Lord. In his Ravan body, he was too much attracted to Ram's wife Janaki, and because of that attraction, he was able to see Lord Ram. But instead of accepting Lord Ram as an incarnation of Vishnu, Ravan thought him an ordinary living being. When killed by the hands of Ram, therefore he got the privilege of taking birth as Shishupal, who had such immense opulence that think himself he could think himself a competitor to Krishna. Although Shishupal was always envious of Krishna, he frequently uttered the name of Krishna and always thought of the beautiful features of Krishna. Thus, by constantly thinking and chanting of Krishna, even unfavorably, he was cleansed of the contamination of his sinful activity. When Shishupal was killed by the Sudarshan Chakra of Krishna as an enemy, his constant remembrance of Krishna dissolved the reactions of his vices, and he attained salvation by becoming one with the body of the Lord. From this incident, one can understand that even a person who thinks of Krishna as an enemy and is killed by him may be liberated by becoming one with the body of Krishna. What then must be the destination of devotees who always think favorably of Krishna as their master or friend? These devotees must attain a situation better than Brahmaloka, the impersonal bodily effulgence of Krishna. Devotees cannot be situated in the impersonal Brahman effulgence into which impersonal is desired to merge. These devotees are placed in Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka. This discussion between Maitreya Muni and Parashar Muni centered on whether devotee come down into the material world in every millennium, like Jay and Vijay, were cursed by the Kumaras to that effect. In the course of these instructions to Maitreya about Hiranyakashipu, Ravan described Ravan and Shishupal. Parashar did not say that these demons were formerly Jay and Vijay. He simply described the transmigration through three lives. It is not necessary for the Vaikuntha associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to come to take the role of his enemies in all the millenniums in which he appears. The fall down of Jay and Vijay occurred in a particular millennium. Jay and Vijay do not come down in every millennium to act as demons. To think that some associates of the Lord fall down from Vaikuntha in every millennium to become demons is totally incorrect. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has all the tendencies that may be found in the living entity. For he is the chief living entity. Therefore, it is natural that sometimes Lord Vishnu wants to fight. Just as he has a tendency to create, to enjoy, to be a friend, to accept a mother and father, and so on, he also has a tendency to fight. Sometimes important landlords and kings give wrestlers with whom they practice mock fighting, and Vishnu makes similar arrangements. The demons who fight with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the material world are sometimes his associates. When there is a scarcity of demons and the Lord wants to fight, he instigates some of his associates of Vaikuntha to come and play as demons. When it is said that Shishupal emerged into the body of when it is said that Shishupal emerged in the body of Krishna, it should be noted that in this case he was not Jay or Vijay, he was actually a demon. In his Brihad Bhagavatamritam, Srila Sanatana Goswami explained that the attainment of salvation by merging into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord cannot be accepted as the highest success in life. Because demons like Kausa, who were famous for killing Brahmanas and cows, attained that salvation. For devotees, such salvation is abominable. Devotees are actually in a transcendental position, whereas non-devotees are candidates for hellish conditions of life. There is always a difference between the life of a devotee and the life of a demon, and their realizations are as different as heaven and hell. Demons are always accustomed to being malicious toward devotees and to killing brahmanas and cows. For demons, merging into the Brahman effulgence may be very glorious, but for devotees, it is hellish. A devotee's aim in life is to attain perfection in loving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who aspire to merge into the Brahman effulgence are as abominable as demons. Devotees who aspire to associate with the Supreme Lord to render him transcendental loving service are far superior. So here, यदरीणां प्रियाणां च प्राप्यमेकम् इवोदितं तद्ब्रह्म कृष्णयोरैक्यात् किरणा किरणार्कोपमादिशो. Wherever in scriptures it is stated that the enemies of Bhagavan and those dear to him attain the same destination, it has been said by considering Brahma like the rays, not different from sunlight Sri Krishna. It means that the dear devotees of Sri Bhagavan attain Vaikuntha, full of variegatedness, while Bhagavan's enemies attain Siddha Loka, the place devoid of his pastime. Anuvash. Yajasmi Shastre Arinam Bhagavad Vidveshinam Priyanam Cha Bhagavad Bhaktanam Ekam Prapyam Uditam Kaditam Tattu Kiranarka Upama Jisho Brahma Krishnayo Aikyat अर्थात किरण स्थानीय निर्विशेष ब्रह्मणा अर्क स्थानीय कृष्णस्य च तत्वतो अभेदात् बोधव्यम इत्यर्थम. श्रीमद् भागवतम 10th canto 2nd chapter 32nd verse. ये अन्ने अरविंदाक्ष विमुक्तमानिनस् त्वयि अस्तभावात् अविशुद्ध बुद्धया आरुह्य कृच्छेण परम पदम ततः पतन्ति अधो अनादृत युष्मदंग्रया. O lotus-eyed one, apart from your devotees, those who undergo severe austerities like sama, control of mind, and dhamma, control over the external organs, but do not have pure intelligence due to lack of devotion, consider themselves liberated, however being disrespectful towards your lotus feet, which are the ultimate shelter, they fall down. That is, again they end up in a lowly state. Translation of the essence of the verses 25 to 37 of the section describing the glories of Sri Krishna in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, written by Srila Rupa Goswami. In the fourth part of Vishnu Puran, Shri Maitreya inquired from sage Parashar, the demon who first took the form of Hiranyakashipu and later of Ravan attained the opulence that is beyond the reach of even the demigods, but did not, however, attain liberation. How then did the same demon taking the form of Shishupal attain Sahibja with Sri Krishna? Parashar said, on the appearance of Sri Nrsingadev, Hiranyakashipu's mind did not accept him to be Vishnu. Instead, the demon considered him to be a powerful, pious creature. Due to the dominance of the mode of passion at the time of his death, Hiranyakashipu could not meditate on his form. Thus, not accepting Sri Bhagavan as the embodiment of the object of devotion, his mind could not be absorbed in him. However, as a result of being killed by him, Hiranyakashipu in his next birth as Ravan conquered the three worlds and attained great opulence. In that body of Ravan, captured by lust, his heart engrossed in Janki. He only took darshan of the form of Bhagavan, Sri Ramchandra. However, at the time of his death, he did not have the conception of Sri Ram being Vishnu. Instead, he in his heart considered him to be an ordinary human being. Again, as a result of being killed at the hands of Sri Ram, he took birth in the famous Chediraj dynasty as Shishupal and attained great opulence. By considering Sri Krishna as Vasudev, he had this conception of him being Vishnu. As a result of malice, which had compounded over many past lives and had now become firm in his heart, he uttered Sri Krishna's name while showing anger and criticizing him. Due to the influence of this deeply embedded malice in any and every situation, walking, eating, bathing, sitting, standing, and sleeping, the beautiful form of Sri Krishna never left his heart, which was absorbed in him. Constantly calling Sri Krishna's name in anger and keeping his beautiful form always in his heart, in the last moments of his life, his malice and offenses disappeared and it took darshan of the Parabrahma, Sri Bhagavan, in the effulgence of the Sudarshan disk, who had come from his who had come for his destruction. As a result of remembering Sri Bhagavan, even though with unfavorable sentiments, all his anarthas were destroyed, and Shishupal, on being killed by the disk of Bhagavan, went close to Sri Bhagavan and merged into him. O Maitreya, this is the answer to your question. If, as a result of unfavorable pursuit, those full of malice for Sri Krishna, inimical to him, are delivered, then as a result of favorable pursuit, the pure devotees will attain the highest position, that is the lotus feet of Sri Krishna or Krishna Prem. What doubt can there be in this? Parashar Muni did not mention that both these demons earlier were Jay and Vijay, the Parshadas, associates of Sri Bhagavan. He just stated that they had taken three births. Thus, these two associates take birth as demons in every kalpa, one day of Brahma. But that is not what Parashar Muni intends to say. Thus, in absence of such intention, the idea that those associates of Sri Bhagavan fall down in every kalpa very incompatible. That means just as the Ichha Shakti or willing potency for creation is eternally present in Vishnu, likewise the Ichha Shakti to fight is also eternally present in him. Just as a king interested in sports constantly tries to indulge in it with his opponents, in the absence of any opponent, he enjoys those sports activities with his associates and followers, who also in turn engage, considering the king as an opponent and satisfy him. Similarly, Bhagavan Vishnu also fulfills his intent for enjoying battle sports by playing with an opponent who either is a jiva averse to him since time immemorial and has unfavorable sentiments towards him, or with some personal associate of him, instilling that associate with unfavorable sentiment. Further, he also adopts unfavorable sentiments towards him. Therefore, the concept of the fall down of the associates of Sri Bhagavan in every kalpa is incompatible. When Bhagavan appeared in his transcendental Narsinga form, Hiranyakashipu did not accept him as Vishnu. Rather, he considered him simply a creature resulting from great piety. Due to the dominance of the mode of passion, his intelligence was diluted and he considered Narsingadev as just a powerful creature. At the time of death, he could not realize the form of Sri Bhagavan. Thus, after being killed at the hands of Bhagavan Sri Narsinga, he attained extremely rare opulences for sense enjoyment. in his next lifetime as Ravana. In the absence of both, one's firm belief of him being Vishnu and having great enmity against Vishnu, the absorption of one's mind in Sri Bhagavan does not increase. Without an increase in absorption, the enmity against Bhagavan is the cause of one's falling into hell, as was the case of King Vena. Without complete absorption, the offenses resulting from criticism, etc., are not destroyed. Due to the non-destruction of his offenses, Hiranyakashipu could not take darshan of the pure Swarupa Bhagavan. Therefore, he could not merge into Parabrahma Narsingadev, despite his personal presence. Even in the body of Ravan, his mind was captivated with lust. Hence, even he, like Hiranyakashipu, considered Sri Ram as an ordinary human being. For this reason, that demon in the form of Shishupal, like his previous birth, attained great opulences for sense enjoyment. Considering Sri Krishna as Vasudev, whom Shishupal had responsible for his death in his past two births, with great enmity and absorption, he used to always chant all those names of his by actually criticizing him. Further, by taking his darshan in his four-handed form, considering him Vishnu, he would also constantly remember his form, just like the incessant chanting of his names out of animosity. Thus, his sins resulting from enmity were burnt due to the chanting of Sri Krishna's names. His demoniac nature went away by the effulgence of Sudarshan disc sent by Sri Krishna, and he attained completely purified divine eyes with which he took darshan of Bhagavan's Parabrahma human-like form. At that very moment, due to the blow of Sudarshan disc, his demon body was destroyed and he merged into Parabrahma. Shishupal attained Sahyajya, merging into Sri Krishna due to his deep absorption in him out of animosity. After this discussion, this narration has been told in order to discuss elaborately the facts as to why Putana and others during Sri Krishna's childhood pastimes were bestowed with liberation. But people like Kalnemi were killed either by various incarnations of Bhagavan or at the hands of Ishvara did not receive liberation. Here he means fame. When compared to the various other incarnations, on remembering and doing kirtan of Sri Bhagavan, the fountainhead, even with malice or unfavorable intent, the demon is delivered. Please refer to the commentary by Sri Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu. The translation of the verse Golok glorified 201 of Brad Bhagavatamritam by Sri Sanatana Goswami, presented in the 10th part of Sajjan Toshani by Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. How can Sahyajya liberation attained by all demons like Kamsa, who are criticized as the killer of cows and brahmanas in the scriptures, be appreciated? The devotion of Bhagavan, the devotees of Bhagavan are sadhus, and those having malice towards Bhagavan are demons. Just as symptoms of sadhus and demons are always contrary, similarly the presence of contradiction in their sadhan and the sadhya would be essential. The sadhan of the demons is to be inimical towards the sadhus, and killing cows and brahmanas, their sadhya is liberation. As for the devotees, bhakti is the sadhan and prema is the sadhya. Hence, those who endeavor for that Sahyajya liberation, like demons, take shelter of the wicked process wherein the efforts are only towards attainment of knowledge. The abode of transcendental pastimes, Paravyoma, is above Brahmaloka. तैचे परव्योमे नाना चिशक्ति विलास निर्विशेष ज्योतिर्बिंब बाहिरे प्रकाश. Taiche, in that way, Paravyome, in the spiritual sky, Nana varieties, Chit Shakti Vilas, pastimes of spiritual energy, Nirvishesha, impersonal, Jyoti of the effulgence, Bimba, reflection, Bahire, externally, Prakash, manifest. Thus, in the spiritual sky, there are varieties of pastimes within the spiritual energy. Outside the Vaikuntha planets appears the impersonal reflection of light. Various pastimes are performed through the chit potency in the Paravyoma. That is, a variety of distinctive features are present there, and the impersonal reflection of light appears outside Vaikuntha. The one with a goal to merge with the Brahma attains the transcendental Brahma. Caitanya Caritamrta Brahma. The impersonal Brahma effulgence say that Kevala only Jyotirmaya effulgent rays. Saijya, the liberation called Saijya, oneness with the Supreme. Adhikari, one who is fit for Tanha, Tanha. There in the impersonal Brahman effulgence, Paya gets Laya merging. That impersonal Brahma effulgence consists only of effulgent rays of the Lord. Those fit for Saijya liberation merge into that effulgence. The impersonal Brahma is just the effulgent rays emanating from Bhagavan's body, and those eligible for Saijya liberation merge into that effulgence. So, verse number 39, 539. 5.39. जय श्री गुरु गौरांग अंदरधिकारी धारी श्री राधा विनोद की जय. जय निकला गुरु शिशम भक्तिदान नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज गुरुदेव जय. लीला विष्णु विष्णुदास शिशम भक्तिदान राम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. लीला विष्णु विष्णुदास शिशम भक्तिदान त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. लीला विष्णु विष्णुपास गोविंद गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. लीला विष्णु विष्णुपास शिशम भक्तिदान स्वामी महाराज की जय. आचार्य की श्री श्री श्रीमद भक्ति प्रज्ञान कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जय जय परिकर जय गुरु भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी गोपाल ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वारसनात्मक श्री मंडल की जय. गंगा जमुना दूसरे भक्त देवी की जय. जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्रजू की जय. सर्व विघ्न विनाशन भक्ति विघ्न विनाशन वसुदेव भगवान की जय. जय तिरंडी स्वामी कृष्ण भक्तिदान दंडी महाराज की जय. नामनिष्ठ संत शैलदास प्रभु की जय. महेश वृंद की जय. धामवासी भक्त वृंद की जय. समागत भक्त वृंद की जय. गौर सीतनाथ मानंद हरि हरि बोल की जय. तुम्हारो एकादशी व्रत की जय. गौर मान हरे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. ओम वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य कृष्ण भक्ति देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः. वांछाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे.